The emergency alarm screamed through the Great Council chamber. Commander Zix stared at his scanner, his 4 eyes blinking in disbelief. The readings made no sense. Nothing could be that big. Nothing could move that fast. "Sir, the sensors must be broken," his aide whispered, trembling. "These numbers, they're impossible." Zix looked at the massive holographic display floating above the council table. 47 alien races sat in their chairs, all leaders of the Galactic Alliance. They had ruled space for 10,000 years. They thought they knew everything about the galaxy. They were wrong. The display showed a fleet of ships dropping out of hyperspace. Not just any ships. These were massive, dark, silent, and they carried markings that made the old ones in the council go pale with fear. "By the ancient gods," whispered Elder Thane, his voice shaking. The old reptilian had lived for 800 years. Nothing scared him anymore. Until now. "Those symbols, I know those symbols." The younger council members looked confused. Commander Zix stepped forward. "Elder Thane, what are you talking about?" "What symbols?" The ancient alien stood up slowly, his scales turning gray with fear. "The markings of the lost ones, the destroyers, the ones from the old warnings." He pointed at the display with a trembling claw. "Those are human ships." The chamber fell silent. Then someone laughed. Then another. Soon half the council was laughing. "Humans." General Kor slammed his fist on the table. "You mean the fairy tales? The scary stories we tell children?" He laughed harder. "Elder Thane, you're getting too old. Humans are myths, legends. They never existed." But Elder Thane wasn't laughing. Neither was Dr. Vera, the young scientist who sat in the back. She had been studying the old ruins for years. The ancient stone tablets, the warnings carved in dead languages. "General Kor is wrong," Dr. Vera said, standing up. Her voice was small but clear. "Humans are real. I found their homeworld." The laughter stopped. "Impossible," General Kor said. "Show me proof." Dr. Vera activated her personal tablet. The air filled with holographic images. Ancient stone tablets covered in strange writing, star maps carved in rock, and pictures of creatures that looked almost like them, but different, taller, stronger, with only 2 eyes and strange, smooth skin. "These tablets are 15,000 years old," Dr. Vera explained. "They tell a story, a warning, about a race of warriors who came from a small blue world, a race that defeated the Devourer Empire." "The Devourer Empire was destroyed by a plague," General Kor interrupted. "Everyone knows that." "No," Elder Thane said quietly. "The Devourer Empire was destroyed by humans. I remember the stories my grandfather told me. Before they died, the Devourers sent out one final message, a warning to all races in the galaxy." The old alien's voice dropped to a whisper. "They said, beware the humans. They do not fight like us. They do not think like us. They do not give up. They do not forgive when you threaten their families. And they never ever forget." Dr. Vera nodded. "The tablets say the same thing. After the war, the humans disappeared. They went back to their hidden worlds. The galaxy thought they were gone forever." She looked at the display showing the approaching fleet. "But they were just sleeping." "This is ridiculous," General Kor stood up. "Even if humans exist, we have the greatest fleet in galactic history. 47 races. 10 million ships. We've never lost a war." "Neither have they," Elder Thane said. Commander Zix's communicator beeped. His face went white as he read the message. "Sirs, we're getting a transmission from the approaching fleet. They want to talk." "Put it through," General Kor ordered. "Let's see these legendary humans." The main screen flickered. Then a face appeared. It looked almost like them, but different. The skin was smooth and pale. The eyes were a strange blue color. And when it spoke, its voice was calm and cold. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Human Federation Fleet. We know you can understand us. We've been watching you for a long time." The human's eyes seemed to look right through them. "We came here to give you a simple message." The chamber was dead silent. "Stay away from our worlds. Stop your expansion into the outer rim. You have 72 hours to remove all military ships from Sector 7. This is your only warning." The transmission ended. For a moment, nobody moved. Then General Kor started laughing again. "Did you hear that? They're giving us orders. One small fleet thinks they can threaten the entire Galactic Alliance." But Elder Thane wasn't laughing. Neither was Dr. Vera. They both stared at the display at the dark ships waiting in space. "General," Dr. Vera whispered. I don't think that's a small fleet. Commander Zix's hands shook as he read his scanner again. Sir, the sensors are picking up more ships. Many more. They're everywhere. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. The laughter died in General Kor's throat. Elder Thane stood up slowly. His ancient voice filled the chamber. Gentlemen, ladies, fellow beings of the Alliance. For 10,000 years we thought humans were just stories. Legends to scare children. He looked at each council member, his old eyes full of fear and wisdom. We were wrong. The legends just came home. Outside the station, in the cold darkness of space, the human fleet waited. Silent. Patient. Deadly. The countdown had begun. 71 hours had passed. The human deadline was almost over. General Kor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Pride of Andromeda. It was the biggest warship in the Galactic Alliance fleet, 5 kilometers long, weapons that could destroy planets, shields that had never been broken. Sir, we're approaching the human fleet, reported Lieutenant Vex, his voice nervous. Good. General Kor smiled, showing his sharp teeth. Time to teach these humans about real power. Open a channel to their lead ship. The screen flickered. The same pale human face appeared. Admiral Sarah Chen. Her blue eyes were calm, almost bored. General Kor, she said. Your time is up. Are you leaving our space? General Kor laughed. Human, look around you. I brought 200 of our best warships. Each one could destroy your entire primitive fleet. He leaned forward. You should be the one leaving. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. I see, so you choose war. I choose to end this joke, General Kor snarled. Surrender now, and we might let your species serve us as slaves. For the first time, the human smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. General, you should know something about humans. We don't surrender, ever. The transmission ended. General Kor turned to his crew. All ships, prepare for battle. Show these humans what happens when they threaten the Galactic Alliance. But Commander Zix was staring at his sensors, confused. Sir, something's wrong. The human fleet. Most of their ships are leaving. What? General Kor looked at the main display. It was true. Hundreds of human ships were jumping away. Only one remained. A small ship, maybe a tenth the size of his flagship. Lieutenant Vex laughed nervously. They're running away. They saw our fleet and got scared. But Commander Zix shook his head. So that remaining ship, it's moving toward us, alone. General Kor stared. One small human ship against 200 Alliance warships. Are they insane? His communicator beeped. A new voice came through, different from the Admiral. This one was younger, male, and sounded almost bored. Alliance fleet, this is Captain James Rodriguez of the destroyer Defiant. I'm your opponent today. General Kor couldn't believe it. You're sending one ship against my entire fleet. That's right, Captain Rodriguez replied casually. Don't worry, General. This won't take long. You're right about that. General Kor snarled. He turned to his weapons officer. All ships target that destroyer. Show them what 200 warships can do. The Alliance fleet opened fire. Thousands of energy beams, missiles, and plasma cannons all aimed at the tiny human ship. The space around it exploded in brilliant light. Direct hit. Lieutenant Vex cheered. Nothing could survive that. But as the light faded, the human ship was still there. Not just still there, it looked completely undamaged. Commander Zix stared at his scanner. Impossible. We hit it with enough firepower to destroy a moon. Captain Rodriguez's voice came through again, still calm. Nice light show, General. Our turn. The human destroyer moved, fast, faster than anything they had ever seen. It weaved between Alliance ships like they were standing still. Track it, General Kor shouted. Shoot it down. But the human ship was too quick. Alliance weapons fired everywhere but hit nothing but empty space. Some shots even hit other Alliance ships by mistake. Then the Defiant stopped, right in front of General Kor's flagship, so close he could see its hull through the bridge windows. What is it waiting for? Lieutenant Vex whispered. Captain Rodriguez answered their question. General, I've been scanning your ships. Interesting designs. Your weapons are about 500 years behind ours. Your shields use old quantum technology. Your engines are chemical-based. General Kor felt cold fear creeping up his spine. What are you saying? I'm saying you never had a chance, Captain Rodriguez replied. But don't worry. We believe in fair fights, so I'm only going to use weapons from your technology level. What? You see, General, we've been watching your species for a long time. We know exactly how strong your ships are. We know your weapons, your tactics, your weaknesses. The human's voice turned serious. We also know about honor. So I'll give you one fair shot. The human destroyer moved back, putting distance. The rescue ships came exactly as Captain Rodriguez promised. General Kor floated in his escape pod, watching human vessels carefully pull survivors from the wreckage of his flagship. His mind couldn't accept what had happened. One single shot had cut the pride of Andromeda in half. "Sir," Commander Zix's voice crackled through the calm. "The humans, they're rescuing everyone, even our wounded." General Kor looked through his pod's window. Human ships were everywhere, pulling Alliance survivors from the debris. Medical ships, rescue vessels. They moved with perfect precision. "Why?" he whispered. "Why save us?" His question was answered when a human rescue ship docked with his pod. The airlock opened, and a figure in a white medical suit stepped through. When the helmet came off, General Kor saw his first human up close. She looked almost like them, but different. The skin was smooth, pale. The eyes were green instead of yellow. And when she spoke, her voice was gentle. "General Kor, I'm Dr. Martinez. You have a concussion and 3 broken ribs. We need to get you to our medical bay." "You're helping me?" General Kor couldn't understand. "We tried to kill you." Dr. Martinez helped him out of the pod. "Yes, you did. But you failed. The fight is over now. Humans don't kill prisoners." As they walked through the human ship, General Kor saw something that shocked him more than the weapon that destroyed his flagship. Alliance soldiers sat next to human medics, aliens and humans working together to save lives. "I don't understand," General Kor said. "You could kill us all. Why show mercy?" Dr. Martinez smiled sadly. "Because that's what makes us human, General. We know when to fight, and we know when to stop." In the medical bay, General Kor lay on a bed while human doctors treated his wounds. Across from him, Commander Zix was getting his arm fixed by another human medic. "Commander," General Kor whispered, "what did you learn from the other humans?" Commander Zix's eyes were wide with fear and respect. "Sir, they told me stories about why the galaxy fears them, about the war with the Devourer Empire." "Tell me." Commander Zix looked around, making sure no humans were listening. Then he leaned close. "Sir, 15,000 years ago, the Devourer Empire ruled half the galaxy. They were monsters. They didn't just conquer worlds, they ate them. Every living thing," General Kor nodded. "Everyone knew the stories of the Devourers. The Empire had 1 billion ships. They thought nothing could stop them. Then they found a small blue planet in the outer rim, Earth, the humans' homeworld. What happened? The Devourers attacked Earth with 1 million ships. They thought it would be easy. Just another world to consume." Commander Zix's voice dropped to a whisper. "The humans had only 50,000 ships. They were outnumbered 20 to 1, General Kor breathed. "Yes, but the humans didn't fight like anyone expected. They didn't fight for territory or resources. They fought for their families, their children, their home." Commander Zix paused. "The Devourers won the first battle. They landed on Earth." General Kor felt cold. "They invaded the human homeworld." "Yes, but that was their biggest mistake. You see, sir, humans fight differently when you threaten their home. Every human became a soldier. Old ones, young ones, even their children fought back." "Impossible." "The Devourers controlled most of Earth for 3 years. They thought they had won, but humans never gave up. They fought in the cities, in the forests, underground. They never stopped." Commander Zix's eyes were full of awe. "And then something happened that no one expected." "What?" "Other worlds heard about Earth. Peaceful species that the Devourers had been threatening. They saw humans fighting alone against impossible odds, and they decided to help." General Kor sat up despite his pain. "What do you mean?" 1,000 different species sent ships to help the humans. Not because they had to, because they wanted to. Because humans had shown them that the Devourers could be fought. 1,000 species? The largest alliance in galactic history, all fighting beside the humans. And the humans, they didn't fight for conquest anymore. They fought to free every world the Devourers had taken. General Kor's mind raced. "What happened to the Devourer Empire?" Commander Zix smiled grimly. "Complete defeat. Every Devourer world liberated. Every slave species freed. The empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was destroyed in just 50 years. And then? That's the strange part, sir. After the war, the humans just left. They said goodbye to their allies and went back to their hidden worlds. They said they were tired of war. They wanted peace. General Kor stared at the ceiling. So they've been out there all this time, waiting, growing stronger. Yes, sir. And now we know why the ancient warning said to fear them. At that moment, Captain Rodriguez walked into the medical bay. He looked tired, but his eyes were kind. General Kor, how are you feeling? Why? General Kor asked. Why did you spare us? Captain Rodriguez sat down beside the bed. Because, General, humans learned something important during the Devourer War. We learned that making enemies is easy. Making friends is harder. But friends are more valuable than victories. You could have killed us all. Yes, we could have. But then you would just hate us more. Your people would want revenge, more wars, more death. Captain Rodriguez shook his head. We've had enough war, General. We want peace. General Kor looked at this strange human, so powerful yet so gentle. What happens now? Captain Rodriguez stood up. Now you go back to your people. You tell them what you've seen. You tell them that humans offer friendship to those who want it. And if they don't want friendship, Captain Rodriguez's eyes grew cold, then they'll meet the rest of our fleet. Before General Kor could ask what that meant, alarms started blaring throughout the ship. A human officer ran into the medical bay. Captain Rodriguez, urgent message from High Command. What is it? The officer's face was pale. Sir, Emperor Valak has declared total war on humanity. He's mobilizing the Grand Fleet, every ship in the Alliance. He's calling for the complete destruction of the human species. Captain Rodriguez sighed sadly. How many ships? 50,000, sir. The largest fleet in Alliance history. Captain Rodriguez looked at General Kor. I'm sorry, General. It seems your Emperor has chosen war. General Kor felt sick. Captain, you don't understand. Emperor Valak is insane. He won't listen to reason. When he says total war, he means it. I know, Captain Rodriguez said quietly. That's why we're going to have to wake up the fleet. Wake up the fleet. Captain Rodriguez walked toward the bridge, then stopped and looked back. General, what you've seen today, this was just one destroyer. We have been sleeping for 10,000 years, growing stronger, building ships, preparing. His eyes met General Kor's. Emperor Valak is about to learn why the ancients called us legends. The alarms kept blaring. Somewhere in space, the real human fleet was waking up. Emperor Valak stood in his golden throne room, watching the largest fleet in galactic history prepare for war. 50,000 ships, every vessel the Alliance could build, every warrior they could find. My Emperor, General Thax, bowed low. The Grand Fleet is ready. We will crush these humans and take their worlds. Emperor Valak smiled cruelly. Good, today we end the human threat forever. No mercy, no prisoners. Kill them all. But in the back of the throne room, Dr. Vera watched with growing fear. She had studied the ancient warnings. She knew what was coming. My Emperor, she said quietly. Perhaps we should reconsider. Silence. Emperor Valak roared. You weak scientist. Your fairy tales about legendary humans end today. We will show the galaxy that the Alliance is the only true power. Dr. Vera bowed her head but whispered to herself, You have no idea what you've awakened. 3 days later, the Alliance Grand Fleet arrived at the edge of human space. 50,000 warships stretched across the darkness like a metal wall of death. Admiral Cross, the Alliance's greatest military commander, stood on his flagship's bridge. He had never lost a battle. Today would be no different. Sir, his sensor officer reported, we're detecting the human fleet. They're waiting for us near Earth. How many ships? Admiral Cross asked confidently. Scanning now, sir. I'm reading. Wait, this can't be right. What is it? The officer's voice shook. Sir, I'm only detecting 12 ships. Admiral Cross laughed. 12, that's it? They're sending 12 ships against 50,000. But General Kor, who stood beside him as a prisoner advisor, felt ice in his veins. Admiral, this is wrong. After what I saw, they wouldn't send just 12 ships. General, you've been defeated by these humans. Your judgment is clouded by fear. Admiral Cross dismissed him. All ships advance on the human fleet. This will be over in minutes. The massive Alliance fleet moved forward. As they got closer, they could see the human ships clearly. They looked different from the destroyer that had defeated General Kor. These were bigger, sleeker, and they waited in perfect formation. Like they had all the time in the world, a communication came through from the human fleet. The face of an older human appeared on screen, a woman with gray hair and calm, intelligent eyes. "I am Fleet Admiral Catherine Torres of the Human Federation. You are trespassing in human space. Leave now and there will be no bloodshed." Admiral Cross laughed so hard he nearly fell over. "Human, look around you. I have 50,000 ships. You have 12. Surrender now, or we'll blast you into dust."